the news comes first.
2017 report by the American Society of Civil Engineers gave American infrastructure a D+ rating. Among the 16 categories graded, bridges received a C+, roads, dams, and airports earned a D, while mass transit came in with a D-.
Global natural disasters totaled 7,348, which is around double the numbers. According to statistics, China and the United States suffered the highest number of disaster cases in the past 20 years.
How does the disaster occur? Disaster occur because of the intersection of hazard with exposed people and assets that are vulnerable to the hazard. They are characterized by a lack of resilience and poor capacity to cope and respond in the affected area. Without vulnerability, there can be no disaster. How often do disasters occur? Many natural disasters occur each year. Roughly 6,800 natural disasters take place every year around the globe.
What happens when natural disasters occur? A natural disaster can cause loss of life or damage property, and typically leaves some economic damage in its wake, the severity of which depends on the affected population's resilience and on the infrastructures available.
There are two types of disaster, natural and man-made. Natural disasters are natural events such as a flood, earthquake, or hurricane that causes great damage or loss of life. The number of people suffering food crisis as a result of natural disasters has tripled in the last 30 years. Now, what are man-made disasters? Man-made disasters have an element of human intent, negligence, or error involving a failure of a man-made system, as opposed to natural disasters resulting from natural hazards. Such man-made disasters are crime, arson, civil disorder, terrorism, war, biological chemical threat, cyber attacks, etc.
What are the causes of poor infrastructure? There are several factors that contribute to poor infrastructure, and they include lack of or shortages of funds, insufficient provision of developmental resources, and inefficiency of developmental labor, as well as poor repair and maintenance. What are examples of infrastructure? Examples of infrastructure include transportation system, communication networks, sewages, water, and electric systems.
Why is infrastructure important to the economy of nation? Infrastructure is vital to economic development as it is the key to achieving higher and stable economic growth. Although most economies in Asia have already developed their basic infrastructure, the focus of development is usually on the quantity rather than the quality.
What is the most important infrastructure? The following are the important constituents of infrastructure: power and the source of its production such as coal and oil, roads and road transport, railways, communication especially telecommunication, ports and airports, and for agriculture, irrigation constitutes the important infrastructure.
What is adaptation? Adaptation is the physical or behavioral characteristics of an organism that helps an organism to survive better in the surrounding environment. Living things are adapted to the habitat they live in. This is because they have special features that help them to survive. What is adaptation in science? Adaptation in science is evolutionary adaptation or simply adaptation. is the adjustment of organisms to their environment in order to improve their chance at survival in that environment.
So, what is the importance of adaptation? Adaptation is essential for the survival of living organisms. Animals which are unable to adapt to changing environmental changes die. These adaptations are results of genetic changes. The animals that survive pass on the mutated genes of their offsprings.
There are three different types of adaptation. Number 1, behavioral, response made by an organism that help it to survive or to reproduce. Number 2, physiological, a body process that helps an organism to survive or reproduce. Number 3, structural, a feature of an organism body that helps him to survive or reproduce.